Hi everyone, welcome back. Today's video is going to be a little bit different because I'm going to be showing you my perfume collection. The other day I just had this thought that I have a lot of perfumes, and I know sometimes people do perfume collection videos, but I didn't know how interested people would be in it. And I asked on Instagram, and I was shocked that about 85% of people said yes, film it, as opposed to like, heck no, that's boring. So that's what I'm gonna be talking about today. I am not a perfume connoisseur. I don't know most scent notes. I couldn't tell you like sillage, and is that a right term for perfume? No idea. Couldn't tell you like high, medium, or low notes. I really don't know much about perfume. I don't even know what the notes are on most of these, but I'm gonna do my best to describe them. And I'll pretty much tell you like when and where I wear these kinds of perfumes, because I do change up what I'm wearing, usually depending on what's going on in my life, but we're in weird quarantine right now, so I've mostly been changing up my perfume once a month just so I can like spread out the love amongst all the bottles. Okay, enough yammering on, let's get into it. So the first one is one that I just picked up from my friend Julie. She was decluttering a whole bunch of her products and offered me like a whack of perfumes. Like there were so many. So this is the Marc Jacobs Pear perfume. I don't think they sell it anymore. I tried to link it when I hauled it last month and I couldn't find it. Like it just doesn't exist anymore. This is a big old bottle, but it doesn't even say how much is in here, which is really bizarre. It literally just says Marc Jacobs Pear on the front. Now, this does not smell like pear to me. It's kind of juicy. It's, I would say refreshing, not sweet, maybe slightly aquatic. This is gonna be a great video, isn't it? I find this really nice to wear. I've been wearing this for all of September. I've been changing up my perfume monthly, and I've enjoyed it, but I will say that the longevity of it is just non-existent. Like I put this on 2 hours ago now and I can barely smell it on my forearms. I put perfume, by the way, on my inside of my arm and then like some squirts, that just sounds terrible. This is going to be quite the video, isn't it? Anyway, I put some splashes of perfume on my like upper chest area. Anyway, I've been wearing this all month. I do really enjoy it, but it does really require reapplication if you want to be smelling it the entire day. But it's been a nice light perfume to wear. Okay, the other perfume that she was also getting rid of was another Marc Jacobs one. This is Cucumber. Now, I really hate the scent of artificial cucumber. I don't think it smells like real cucumbers. I find it to be quite revolting, but this does not smell like that artificial cucumber scent that's usually like there in like toners and stuff like that. This one is more green. And when I made that comment in my haul, somebody said that, oh, is it like herbaceous? I don't know. Like, I have no idea. This just smells more green to me and very light. The Pear one is heavier than this, but I would consider them both to be quite light. I'm assuming, because I haven't worn this one yet, that the longevity is probably similar to the Pear one. And it's more of a, honestly, it's probably more of a body spray than it is an actual perfume. But I mean, the bottles are quite nice. Oh, how weird is that? So I was just saying that there's no size or anything on that. The actual volume is on the reverse of the sticker. You just have to look through the bottle to the other side. So this is a 100 ml bottle, which is 3.4 fluid ounces, and it's an eau de toilette spray. Okay, there you go. So the next one is one of my absolute favorites, and it's what I'm planning to wear throughout the month of October, and it is the Elizabeth and James Nirvana Black. Now, I'm pretty sure this is discontinued at this point, or were they pulling them out of Sephora and relaunching them at Ulta? I feel like somebody told me that a while ago. I have finished up a full bottle of this already. I had a smaller size of this, and I finished it up probably about a year ago, and I picked up a much larger size when I saw it available at Winners. Maybe within the last year, and I was so happy to find it because Sephora doesn't sell it anymore, and we're not getting Ulta in Canada anymore, guys. Like, Ulta was supposed to come to Canada this year, expand out here, and then COVID like ruined that. So we're not getting Ulta in Canada anytime soon. Really sad. Anyway, this is a super thick and heavy perfume. And yet it's so unique and so intoxicating. I would never have thought that I would be the kind of person to wear this kind of perfume, just because it's so heavy. But it's not like old lady perfume types. I smell a lot of like, I guess it's like pepper in it. Like, it's quite a thick scent, but when I smell it on other people, I know immediately what it is. And I really enjoy wearing this scent. It might be a lot to wear at home for the month of October, so I'm gonna see how it goes, because this was pretty much like my going out at night scent, because it just seems like more of a nighttime, more robust type scent. It's definitely very sexy. It's not a light, airy scent at all. And I'm gonna be really sad when I eventually finish this bottle, because I just don't think it's available anymore. So I'm just gonna move through the months here, because I have actually picked out what perfumes I'm gonna be wearing for the remainder of the year per month. And the one I'm going to be wearing in November is this one by Ricci. Now, do you actually have a name printed on you? You don't. How annoying is that? How infuriating. Okay, anyway, all of Nina Ricci's perfumes come in this like little apple type thing with the little blossom stem at the top, and you push down on the stem, which I think is kind of cool. I received this at a PR event 3 years ago, and I was a little bit skeptical at first, because when other people choose perfumes for you, because they had a variety of perfumes that they were engraving with our names, which it says Rachelle across the front here. When other people choose perfumes for you, I mean, it's hit and miss, right? Like, nobody knows your scent like you do. So I was a little bit worried that I wasn't going to find this one that good. And again, still don't remember the name. I'm sure I'll annotate it here somewhere. But I was pleasantly surprised at just how much I like this. I tend to wear this in like November or December, because it is a bit of a thicker scent. This does have a little bit of an apple scent to it. And I would say that this does veer towards old lady scent, but there's something about it that I really like. But it's not something that I would ever wear in like the spring or summertime, because it's just so heavy. It does feel more of like a wintry type scent to me. How else would I describe it? It's just heavy. It's thick, a little bit appley, but not like juicy apple type, more like cooked apple. Yeah, we're gonna go with that. I don't think I would have ever have purchased this of my own volition, but I am happy to have received it, because I have worn it fairly consistently throughout the winter months. And the next one is the one that I'm planning to wear throughout the month of December, and this is just from The Body Shop. This is one of their glitter sprays. So usually all the glitter kind of sinks to the bottom, and you have to shake it up before you apply it. And this is the Peppermint Candy Cane Fragranced Shimmer Mist. And it just screams December to me. I always pull it out around Christmas time, because I love the smell of like peppermint type perfumes. And this just makes me think of every other Christmas in the last few years that I've owned this, because I always pull it out in December. It is a pretty sweet peppermint scent. I wouldn't say it's like a totally like crisp one. This video, people are like, what are you talking about? So it is a bit more of a sweet peppermint scent than just like straight up candy canes, but I really enjoy this one. And I don't actually feel like the shimmer in here like is very visible on the body, like not whatsoever. It just looks kind of cool, like swirling in the bottle. Okay, the next one's a little bit more of an honorable mention, because it is a perfume that I've finished up about 6 bottles of, but the one that I currently have is empty. I just haven't brought it back to MAC yet and replaced it. It is Mac's Turquoise, and mine looks like janky as all get out, because I brought this with me on vacation one time, and one of my glitter polishes broke open on this thing and just ruined it, really. So Mac's Turquoise is a scent that I've been using for I think over 10 years, and it's so good. This thing is totally empty. That's a shame. I really want to spray it right now. It is a very aquatic ozone type scent, but there's a good depth of warmth to it, which is weird to say about an aquatic scent, but there is something in here that's a little bit not just watery. My mom loves this perfume on me so much. She always comments whenever I'm wearing it, and usually she's the one who replaces the bottle for me at Christmas time, because she'll ask me what I want. I'm like, oh, just get me Mac's Turquoise. Mom, if you're watching this, I could do with another bottle of this actually, so there's a Christmas present idea for you. This is just such a great scent, and I have gone through about 5 or 6 bottles of it over the years. I will say that the longevity of it is not great. I usually have to apply, like if I put this on in the morning and I'm going out at night, I'll have to reapply it around like 4 or 5 o'clock, just because it doesn't really last that long. But it is a wonderful, wonderful scent. Okay, sticking with the ocean type scents because I do really like aquatic ones. My favorite, segue here, or side note I should say, my favorite perfume ever was Michael Kors Island, the original one that launched in like, I want to say 2004. They no longer make it. I had many bottles of that over the years, and that's what I considered my signature scent, and I loved it so much because it was so aquatic, so refreshing, and I love that perfume, but they don't make it anymore. And I've tried to buy bottles on eBay that are like kind of old, but they just don't smell the same anymore, and the price on that is like really like up there now because people know that you can't buy it anymore. Anyway, that was a side note. Here's another aquatic perfume that I've really enjoyed. This is actually a men's cologne though. And this is actually by Mary Kay. It's their high intensity ocean cologne. And when I first got this, I was like, oh, cologne, like whatever. I don't really care. I wasn't really thinking about it. And then I sprayed it and I was like, that is a freaking phenomenal scent. And I just started wearing it. It's a little bit more manly, but I really don't care if a scent is more manly or feminine. If I like the scent, I'm gonna wear it. And it is a very refreshing, aquatic ocean scent. I tend to wear this one throughout like June and July, and I'll wear it pretty steadily for like a month or two. And a few people have commented on it. They're like, oh, what are you wearing? And I'm like, I've got a men's cologne on, which always makes me smile. So this came out quite a few years ago. I don't know if Mary Kay still makes this, but it's a really good scent. So I just mentioned how my signature scent is no longer made. So it's been a long time since I've been able to find a scent that I could call like my own, something that I was as enamored with as I was with Michael Kors Island. And I honestly never thought I was going to find one. And then last year I was in England with my friend Julie, and I was meeting up with my friend Dominica, and she smelled unreal. I've told this story a few times already, but I'm telling it again. I was meeting her for the first time because she was a subscriber who I now consider a friend. And I gave her a hug and we were sitting there having lunch together, and I couldn't stop smelling her. Like, she just smelled phenomenal. And finally at one point I was like, you have to tell me what perfume you're wearing because I want to devour you. Like, it was just so good. And she told me that it is Molecule 1. And I went out the next day and bought the biggest bottle that I could get because I just had to own it, which it's handy that she mentioned this because it's also available easily to get in England. So I think I picked it up at Liberty London, and like, I didn't care what the price tag was, I was going to spend it. And I think it was around 100 to 150 bucks. And honestly, I will purchase this forevermore. This is a very, you know, I say a little bit aquatic, but Dominica said that she smells like more of a woodsy type scent to it, and I agree on both accounts. It just depends on what you're smelling. I got this back, brought it back to our Airbnb and like doused my clothes in it, and was just like, this is the best scent ever. I never get tired of wearing this. It always smells awesome. There are some like little myths surrounding Molecule 1. People say that you can't smell this on yourself, but I call total bullshit on that because you absolutely can. But apparently there are some people who cannot smell this, period, point blank. It's a completely synthetic scent. It is manufactured in a lab. It doesn't give me any headaches, but it's one of those things that apparently it's just a weird thing where some people can't smell it at all and others think it's completely intoxicating. I'm on the intoxicating side of things. This has now become my #1 scent, and I've gone through quite a bit of it, but I'm trying to hold off using it too much because I've got all these other perfumes to go through. But I bust this out on like super special nights or days where I want to feel really good, or I think I wore this all throughout the month of June because it was Pride Month and I just wanted to have like a good scent the entire month. So this one is phenomenal, probably my favorite in my entire collection right now. I mean, definitely, now that I'm looking around, it is my favorite. It is wonderful. Oh, here's one that I picked up relatively recently, once Lush finally restocked it. This is the Honey I Washed the Kids body spray, and I have loved the Honey I Washed the Kids scent for quite a while. They also made the same scent in it used to be called It's Raining Men, but I think they finally consolidated the two smells and just called it Honey I Washed the Kids. And I will have that in a shower gel and a soap, and I really wanted to have it in the perfume spray, but they only carried it momentarily a few years ago and I kind of forgot about it, and then they brought it back and I was like, yes, I got to get my hands on it. So this is a really, how do they describe it? Sweet honey caramel fragrance, and it is quite sweet. I don't find it too heavy though. Like I don't find it to be cloying or stuck in my nostrils kind of scent. Oh, it's just really good. It's a really good like feel good scent. Not like warm home baking or anything like that, but not too far from that kind of idea. It just is a really good honey caramel scent. So I've been wearing this quite a bit when I first got it. I haven't worn it in a few months. I think it's funny how it comes in this like squeezy bottle type thing. And the longevity on it's pretty good for a body spray. I will say that it hangs around for quite a while, but I do have a tendency to keep spraying myself with it just because I think it smells so good. Okay, 2 perfumes that I got recently from Julie's Declutter are ones that I haven't actually tried yet, so I'm just going to mention them, but I really can't speak to anything about them. They are 2 ones by Thierry Mugler, which I think is how you pronounce that name. One is called Angel Eau Sucrée, and then the other one has no name on it. It just says Angel. These ones I think are a little bit peppery in scent. I have no idea if I like them. I haven't even sprayed them on myself yet, but I have them, so I just wanted to bring them up. I think the packaging is absolutely adorable. They kind of lay flat, like they sit like that on your counter, but I think the star is really pretty. The next one I have here is a favorite of mine, and I've gone through a few of these. This is the Pacifica French Lilac perfume. I do tend to buy it in a roller ball format, but you can also get it in a smaller spray version. No, small spray version. It's larger than this, but I tend to get it in the rollerball because I do travel with this one quite a bit. This is such a like true lilac scent. It is so, it's lilacs. It's bang on lilacs. And it really reminds me of the lilac tree that used to exist in my parents' backyard, but it got ripped out and destroyed by a tornado a few years ago, which is not very common for Ottawa. But yeah. It smells exactly like that tree. It is just so refreshing. I'm not a flower, like perfume scented person. As you can tell, nothing here is really like flowery, but there's something really special about the smell of lilacs. And it also reminds me of a perfume that I had when I must have been, I don't know, 8 years old maybe. And my mom bought me a bottle of lilac perfume. It was a big thing. Like it was massive. It must have been like 100 to 150 mils of perfume, and I remember wearing that and it smelled very much like this one. I have no idea what the brand was, couldn't recall much about what the packaging looked like, but it was a really good scent, and this one smells similar to that. I've already gone through one rollerball of this, and I will eventually go through this one. I am debating picking up like a larger one eventually, but the rollerball is quite handy. The only thing that's really gross about rollerballs is the fact that, I mean, when I'm putting it on, it's usually after I've gotten out of the shower, so I'm pretty clean. But the fact that it gets really disgusting in the tube because you're rolling it on your wrist and it's picking up little bits of flesh basically that end up floating suspended in the perfume, which is just vile, isn't it? So by the time I finish this thing, there's going to be a lot of murkiness at the bottom, like in the perfume, which is gross. So that's kind of why I'm leaning towards getting a spray bottle, just because it, you know, stays a little bit more pristine. I have another rollerball here, and honestly, I couldn't tell you why I'm keeping this thing because I don't love it. And yet I have routinely brought it with me on vacation because it's so convenient and so tiny. This is the Clean Fresh Linens perfume, and it does smell like freshly starched linens, but there's something very heavy about this that tends to give me a headache. So I honestly don't know why I keep bringing this sucker with me on vacation sometimes. I mean, it doesn't look like I've used that much. It's about, you know, down here. But I have routinely brought this with me to Ottawa to wear, probably because it's just so compact. Now I have bought a Travelo, and I do decant perfumes into the Travelo now, which is kind of this size and, you know, a little bit more compact for travel. This one's okay. I just don't love it, and honestly, I couldn't tell you why I still have it. Like, I should really just get rid of this at some point. Okay, 2 perfumes left. This one has a bit of a neat story. So this is Alfred Sung Shi, which is spelled S-H-I, I believe. And I picked this up because I was at a club one time. I was at the Phoenix in Toronto, if anybody knows that club. And I was in the bathroom, and I got a whiff of this woman, and I was like, oh my God, what perfume are you wearing? Apparently I do that a lot. I just go up to women and ask them what perfume they're wearing. And she was like, it's Alfred Sung Shi. And she's like, you know, most people comment on it. They'll come up to me and ask what I'm wearing. So it seems to be like a big hit with people. I don't think this is very readily available right now. I feel like this was available a few, like maybe let's say 10 years ago, but kind of just dropped off the market because I was only able to find this at one of those like massive warehouse sales about 7 years ago, and I couldn't believe my luck. So I snatched it up for like 40 bucks. I have worn it occasionally, but I don't love it that much on myself. It is more of an aquatic scent. It's quite unique. It's refreshing, but there's something about it on me that tends to give me a headache, and I'm not very susceptible to headaches from perfumes and scents like that, but there's something about this one that has put me off of wearing it, and I should really try it out again, but I've always had it stuck in my head that this one has caused me headaches, so I don't want to try it out again. But I mean, I've got this huge bottle of it. It smells really good, and it will forever make me think of that time at the club where I just asked this woman what her perfume was, and then I was able to find it later on, which I think is kind of a cute story. And honestly, the fact that I remembered what the perfume was the next day was fairly impressive. Because usually, like, I'll talk to people at clubs or whatever and then, like, you know, remember almost nothing the next day because I've had a few drinks. But I remembered this, was able to find it, and I haven't worn it that much. So at some point, though, I will need to decide if I'm going to keep this or get rid of it. And I really need to wear it again just to figure out if it's gonna give me headaches. Because if it's gonna give me headaches, like, there's no point in keeping it, right? Okay, the very last one I have is Burberrys Her, and this was another gifted product at a PR event. It does have Rachelle engraved on the back as well. I think that's such a nice touch when you go to these PR events and they get a bottle of perfume and engrave it with your name. So Burberrys Her is really interesting. How do I describe this? It smells like a tweed jacket laced with fruit. How's that for a description? So the only reason I say the fruit note on there is that when I was reading up the scent profile of this one a few years ago, somebody made a comment that it smelled like strawberries, like artificial strawberries. And I don't necessarily agree with that, but that comment, I think it was on Fragrantica, has stuck in my head ever since I read it, and now whenever I put this on, I smell sort of like strawberries or strawberry shake. But if I had to pick apart the scent profile, I do get more of a tweed jacket British scent with a hint of strawberries, which I realize is such a weird descriptor, but that's the best I can do. I do really enjoy this one. It doesn't look like I've used that much, but I have worn this consistently for several months in a row. This bottle just never seems to go down. The thing that's funny about this one though is that the sprayer on this is so forceful. It sprays for a really long time just to go from like one pump down. I can actually cover like my entire forearm, which is ridiculous, right? Like, that's a lot of perfume. So I usually have to train myself to only do half pumps of this because it just emits so much product. This one does last all day. It doesn't give me a headache, but it is a little bit more of a, it's not heavy, it's just a little bit more of a rich scent, I'll put it that way. So that's gonna be it for this video. That was my entire perfume collection discussed in very bizarre detail. Having never done this before, this felt interesting, but also a little bit strange. I hope you enjoyed it, however. Thanks for joining me today, and I will hopefully see you next time. Bye.